I did a poll on my channel asking the question, Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn, do you care if it doesn't happen? 87% of you said no, 13% of you said yes. Now, there was somebody in the comments who said all the individuals who voted no are capping. As much as they act like they're not interested, they're going to watch. This fight sells out a stadium. This is basically the gist of what the guy was saying. But he's missing the point, because the question isn't pertaining to whether you'll watch the fight or not. It's pertaining to whether you'll be disappointed if the fight doesn't happen. You know, he gave the example of Kell Brook versus Amir Khan. He said people were saying that that fight was past its sell-by date, but they still sold out an arena, I think, and people bought it on pay-per-view. There was still lots of interest. Yeah. But again, the question is, if Kell Brook and Amir Khan hadn't happened, would people have been bitterly disappointed? I personally think there would have been more disappointment for that than there would be for this Eubank Jr. Conor Benn fight, because these guys are not even in the same weight class. Amir Khan and Kell Brook were the same weight class, and they'd sparred in the past. I think maybe when they were amateurs or whatever. So it was a more relevant rivalry. And it was kind of like the modern version of the Ricky Hatton Jr. Witter rivalry. They never fought. Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe, they never fought as well. But Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, they're several weight classes apart. And this fight has just been forced down our necks. So yeah, if it happens, of course, I'm going to watch it. I want content for my channel. Yes, I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to make videos about it and all that kind of stuff if it happens. But if it doesn't happen, am I going to be disappointed? Am I going to feel like we missed out, or I missed out as a boxing fan, or we missed out as a boxing community if that fight doesn't take place? Not at all. Not even in the slightest. I won't lose a wink of sleep. I won't feel disappointed. I won't feel sad or like, oh, what a shame that fight didn't happen. I literally don't care. I guess the best way to describe it is I'm indifferent. Yeah, in fact, I more don't want it to happen than do. But I want to say that the question pertained to people's indifference about the fight rather than whether they hated the fight. That's what I meant to say. And I'm taking it to mean that the majority of my subscribers are indifferent about whether this fight happens or not. If it happens, yeah, they'll watch it. If it doesn't happen, they don't really care. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. And as I've said previously, there is an impasse at the moment over the split, with Eubank Jr. demanding 55%, with 45 going to Conor Benn, obviously. I think that's perfectly reasonable. Perfectly reasonable, given the fact that Eubank Jr. is the more proven commercial entity than Conor Benn. He's fought for world titles. He's world title against George Groves. He's beaten the likes of James DeGale. He fought Billy Joe Saunders. He fought Matt Korobov, who was a high-level fighter at one point. He obviously fought Liam Smith, who's a former world champion, beat him in their rematch. So he's fought the better competition, beat the better competition, had multiple pay-per-views, made a lot more money. He is the bigger commercial entity. On top of that, when he signed up for the first fight, which presumably might have been 50-50, I'm not sure what the split was for the first date for that fight, then Conor Benn was found to have an illegal substance in his sample twice. And Eubank Jr. feels very aggrieved about that. And he only wanted to go ahead. He was only willing to go ahead to fight Conor Benn on that initial date if he received some extra money. And how Conor Benn acts like Eubank Jr. is a scumbag for that is beyond my understanding. I mean, he's lucky that Eubank Jr. was willing to go through the fight at all. Bear in mind, there was a catch weight for that fight. So, no, I think Eubank Jr. is being more than fair. And, truth be told, he doesn't need the money. He's already a millionaire, and he grew up rich as well. They both grew up rich. But it seems like the person who's more desperate for the fight is Conor Benn. And if that's the case, drop the ego, take the 45%, get the fight that you want. Anyway. Are you surrounded by mindless bots in human form who adhere to the norm and blindly conform? who swallow all the mainstream BS and actually ridicule you for questioning things? Do you wish you had more free-thinking individuals in your life to network and converse with? Well, look no further. We're right here. Come and join the Brotherhood of Reason on Patreon. You'll gain access to my weekly topical content where we take deep dives on an endless variety of subjects, as well as my vast back catalogue of podcasts, videos, interviews, movie decodings, and my Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You'll also get to talk and network with myself and hundreds of other people in our members chat. You can enjoy all this via the Patreon app or on desktop and download all my podcasts in high quality MP3. There's no contract, no commitment. You can cancel at any time, just like Netflix, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper. Just download the app from the Play Store or the App Store, or simply visit patreon.com on a web browser. Then head on over to my page and select the tier called the Brotherhood of Reason. All the links are in the description box below. And just a quick money-saving tip for Apple users. If you purchase your Patreon subscription on the desktop site or on Android, then you'll avoid the ridiculous 30% fee that Apple charges for purchases made on the iOS app. So if you're on iPhone or iPad, save yourself some money by buying your subscription on the actual Patreon website or on Android, because it's a lot cheaper. Once you've made that initial purchase, you can then use the Patreon app on your iPhone or iPad thereafter to access and enjoy your content as normal.